lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and intersexual are words that are finding their way into our social consciousness. Views on homosexuality differ. Many say that it is a choice, a phase, a trend, or even a sin. And for the past decade, science has strived to settle the dispute by proving that homosexuality is inbuilt in the DNA. But for many individuals in our society, being gay is a lifestyle they did not choose.
I knew I was different growing up, but I think as a young, like a 5 or 6 year old, you don't have like a word or a label for it just yet. But growing up, you get to read more, you learn a little bit more, and then you know that, okay, there is some sort of an identity, or there is an identity for you.
Me, yes, I did have fears, because as a small age, I was very not I can say curious, but I knew something was different with me, but I didn't know how to bring up. But since I raised in a church, in a church, that's where I begin to realize that I begin to fear that maybe something is wrong with me. So I kept that in myself, and that was one of the big main drives that lead me to put down myself, just bring down my self-esteem then, because I would not talk to no one, because I have that fear that from what I see, that they would just neglect me. You have that fear that your parents will not talk to you, your friends will not talk to you, and no one will want to talk to you.
Although the LGBT community is gaining more acceptance in the 21st century, with many countries passing bills to legalize gay marriage, parents still fear that lifestyle for their children for a variety of reasons. Statistics show that LGBT teenagers have a higher suicide tendency than do heterosexual youth. In fact, a study showed that a staggering 40% of LGBT teens have attempted suicide. So, for parents, the moment that their son or daughter comes out is a life-changing moment.
For me, when I met this girl, the only person's approval I wanted was my mom. And everybody else does not matter, but I wanted to know that my mom would be okay with it. I have always had that thing where, you don't know if you're right to feel like girls or not, because the norm is to have a boyfriend. And when I met this girl, it's not because she looked like a guy or anything like that. I just met this girl, we started to talk, so it was not a physical thing. And then I fell in love with her, for her. And then I told my mom, I said, there's this girl that I like. What do you think about that? And she was like, well, that's your life, if that's what you want, she's happy as long as I'm happy. And so that just that made everything okay, because she was okay with it. So that was the only opinion that mattered and still matters to me.
I came out of the closet to my mom first and to my older sister. I think it was at the age of 16 or 17. She took it really hard, my mom especially, and it took her a while to come around. During that time, or just the infancy of our relationship, I was sick at the hospital, and they wanted to cut me open and do a surgery because they weren't sure what was happening inside of me. They thought it was appendicitis. And she saw that Rob stayed there every night at the hospital, and went back to work the following day. And then she realized that it wasn't just this, it wasn't lost, like the church would say, She realized that it was actually genuine love that was there.
Reporting for Love News, I am Ingrid Furlow.